Hi, everyone. So, welcome to Rocket Your Career with Your Life's Purpose. My name is Brandon Peel. I'm a purpose guide, and I'm the lead teacher of the 21 Day Purpose Challenge. And today we're going to dive into this rich intersection of your life's purpose and your career. So how your purpose actually, is basically rocket fuel for your career. So, feel free to ask any questions. Jump in and would love to hear from you because this is a very rich and scientifically supercharged topic. I mean, there's so much research we're going to go through. Um, there's an ebook that is called The Science of Purpose, from which all this is taken. There's an ebook I wrote about 2 or 3 months ago, and it's part of my upcoming book, Planet on Purpose. So I encourage you to you can download that ebook. If actually just by signing up for the 21 Day Purpose Challenge, you can get your free copy. It's 21daypurposechallenge.org. You sign up before tomorrow, which is the 27th at 5 p.m. Pacific. You get your free copy. Or you can just go to scienceofpurpose.org to kind of follow along and see all the links. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So as we explored yesterday, purpose is this scientifically validated way to create the body you love, to create the life you want and essentially have a life of vitality and vigor. But it's more than that. It's more than just this thing you do for your body. This is a proven way to create the type of career you want. So research has just been piling in over the last few years. An amazing study came out late last year, so 2015, from NYU and a consulting firm called Imperative on the connection between finding your life's purpose and your performance in your career. So what they found was that folks who have a deep connection to their life's purpose have a 20% longer tenure, so they stay in roles for longer, that they are 50% more likely to be leaders in their career. So folks who have purpose are going to rise to the ranks and become leaders. They're 47% more likely to become kind of natural promoters of their job. Because after all, like if you know your life's purpose and you're aligned with it at work, why wouldn't you talk about it? If it's inspiring to you, it'd be inspiring to somebody else. And here's the great piece: is they have a 64% there's 64% higher level of fulfillment. So they're actually enjoying themselves at work, which is quite astounding. So when you kind of dissect the workforce, you look at, so the Gallup study came out and said 70% of the U.S. workforce is disconnected from their life's purpose or disengaged at work. And it's worse globally. It's like 87% of humanity is disengaged at their jobs. So if you look at kind of 70% of the U.S. population, 87% of the world population disengaged, and then you look at the 30% of the U.S. population that is engaged and the 13% of the world population that's engaged. So what's different about them? So they know their life's purpose. They're happier at work. They have no problem getting excited talking about work, so they promote their employer, and they're 50% more likely to be a leader, and they keep their jobs longer. So it's kind of like there's two Americas here. You've got the 30% who are engaged, are leaders, are excited, are happy, and then you got the 70% that aren't. So we can all fix this by developing a deeper connection to our life's purpose. But I think it's just a real stark comparison between these two groups of people: the 30% on fire, and the 30% and the 70% who are just kind of working for the weekend, just kind of waiting endlessly for their careers to be over, whether that's the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the job, until the vacation, until retirement. And so it's like kind of waiting for life to pass them by, or being excited to go to work on Monday. So I've had a lot of experience with this myself. So my career, I started in finance, began my career in venture capital and investment banking, and both of those experiences had kind of they were like a similar progression. I got really excited about it. It was like, some people regard those as very sexy jobs. So I got like, oh my God, I got a job in venture capital. Oh, I got a job in, investment banking. Cool. Then you do the training, and that's exciting, and learning all this cool stuff. And then that stops. I stopped learning, and I'm not really sure why. Why did I stop learning? It was a huge bummer for me. And I wasn't connected to doing a good job, wasn't connected to being any better at my job. So that really kind of, it was disheartening, because I'm sitting there like waiting for this great job to like be great, and it never did. It was just, I learned and then it stopped. Like I wasn't connected to it. I was disengaged. I'm like, oh God. Started, making my employer wrong, started making the industry wrong, eventually making capitalism wrong. So I was disempowered. I wasn't connected to my purpose. Like my job wasn't an expression of who I was. Now, I've also had the opposite experience. So I've worked at a renewable energy company, consulted for a company called Life Factory that made sustainable, healthy kind of water bottles. You've probably seen them in Whole Foods and yoga studios and things like that. I've helped start nonprofits, consulted with a number of social enterprises as an advisor and consultant. And so I've had a different experience where like I'm actually totally engaged. Like, wow, I want this company to succeed. They're doing something great in the world. And more importantly, like I get to be myself, live my life's purpose by helping them succeed, by helping them, do their capital raise, by helping them, develop their strategy, by helping them create powerful marketing. Like it helps me, like I'm helping them help me. It's a beautiful kind of virtuous kind of cycle. So what I'm going to encourage all of you to think about is, moments in your life when you were turned on at work, when it really felt like, wow, this is good. Like this feels aligned. The work is challenging. I like the people I'm working with. And to think about, what was unique about that experience? How was that different than what it used to be like, for example? Like what was so different than that, or different between that and say working at McDonald's or working at another job you really hated? So, and not that you need to have an answer, but to like be in the inquiry, like, why was I fulfilled there? Was there something part of my purpose that was at play? So let's dig into this a little bit and like really examine how purpose shifts who you show up as at work. So we know that the results: longer tenure, more likely to be a leader, more likely to promote your employer, and happier. So that's the finish line. That's where we get when we know our purpose and choose a career that's fulfilled with it. So one of the reasons why purpose does this is that purpose has been proven to show, or purpose has been shown to double the likelihood that you're going to learn something new every day. So when you're on fire with your purpose, you're actually more inquisitive. You're exploring. You're seeking out new ways to move through the world, and that makes you a better employee. And what they found is that people who know their purpose are 4 times more likely to be engaged at work. So there's this kind of inquisitiveness, this thirst for knowledge, for creating something new, for doing a good job, that shows up when you know your life's purpose. And I've experienced this. I've totally experienced this. Like I'm so much more creative, so much more excited about completing my deliverables when I believe in the company. It's not drudgery. I feel elated when I get to do that. And so, as an employee, it's a good decision. But let's examine it more from like leadership perspective. So like employee being like kind of manager on down to like line. But let's think more in terms of equity holders and CEOs and vice presidents. Now, what they found, there's a great study from Deloitte in 2013 found that 91% of folks in business link profitability with a strong corporate purpose. So knowing the purpose of a company can actually create those returns. It can improve the profitability, the ROI of your company. And in fact, global CEOs, so this is the IBM study in 2012, global CEOs were surveyed, and they found was that of the top 3 things to focus on, purpose was in that list, along with ethics and values, all kind of close together. So what is your purpose, what is your ethics, what are your values? You focus on those things, you're going to be successful as an executive. Now, so we've got this kind of really interesting bottom line for the employee. Like, they're happier, they're more engaged, they're getting more fulfillment, they're getting promoted, they're keeping their jobs longer. Better for the for management and equity holders. In fact, in Good to Great, 1992 book, I believe, what they found was that companies that had kind of a transcendent vision, like were about creating positive change in the world, outperformed the market by 15-1. So their returns, their stock market returns, so their the appreciation in their equity outperformed the market by 15-1. Furthermore, it outperformed their competitors. So the stock price of purpose-driven companies outperformed their competitors by 6-1. So it's been proven that purpose creates more profitability and a greater stock price. So why wouldn't folks do this? I mean, it sounds like, to me, a total no-brainer. Find your purpose, create a company that has purpose, and you're off to the races. I mean, it's a simple software update. It doesn't take that long. Like, we're going to do a 21-day purpose challenge beginning Sunday. That's a 3-week intensive way to do it. But I also have done purpose discovery in as few as 10 weeks. But more generally, it takes longer, like say 3 or 4 months. So you can do this quickly. This is like a quarter, like 1 quarter. You spend some time finding your purpose, and you're going to have a better job. You're going to have a better, more leadership, more fulfillment. And if you manage people, they're going to be, they're going to be performing better for you. So let's do this thing. Let's get everyone on board with finding a life's purpose. Now, there's a kind of a bigger picture here. It's not just about the employee and the company, but there's actually a growing shift in the marketplace. So customers, the people who buy the products of all and services of all the different companies out there, customers are actually getting hungry for it. There's a cultural renaissance, a gestalt happening where people want to buy purpose-driven goods and services. So there was a Nielsen study in 2014 that showed that 92% of customers will choose a product that has a higher purpose when price and quality are equal. So if price and quality are the same, they'll say, okay, well, this one actually cares about the environment, or this one cares about fair trade, or this one cares about saving a watershed or endangered species. They'll want to do that. So they're aligned with companies that have a higher purpose. Now, okay, all fine and good. It's definitely a competitive advantage, because they're going to pick your product and your purpose-driven product versus your competitor's not purpose-driven product. The thing is, it's not just about sustaining market share; it's about improving profitability. So what they found, so the same study, the same Nielsen 2014 study, found that 55% of customers will actually pay more for a product that has a higher purpose. So not only will they choose the one that has a higher purpose, they will pay more for that, and that's changed. So this is a 2014 study. In 2011, when they asked the same question, there's an increase of 10% since then. So there's a growing shift in the marketplace towards purpose-driven companies and products. So if you want more customers, if you want more profitable customers, more average revenue per unit, having your life's purpose, having your corporate purpose is going to be important. And what they're finding is that this is driving all sorts of things. It's driving strategy. So in 2014, there's a Factiva search on the words purpose, mission, and change the world. And they were mentioned 3,243 times on earnings calls, investor meetings, and industry conferences, which is a 40% increase since 2009. So this isn't just like California hippie stuff. This is Wall Street. Wall Street is saying we are, or Wall Street analysts and corporate executives are saying we stand for a more transcendent vision. So this is something that is happening not just in personal development circles, not just in your marketing department. This is something that is everywhere. It is on the tips of the tongue of people who are trading your equities. So it's really kind of not so much a new thing as it is. It's happening. So it's happening. The purpose revolution is happening. People are finding their purpose. Customers are choosing it, and the stock prices are showing that. 15x the market and 6x your competitors. So who are these people that kind of want purpose stuff? Well, obviously, lots of people. If 92% of all customers are going to choose purpose, and 55% are going to pay more, but there's actually like a core of this market, what's called LOHAS, for lifestyles of health and sustainability. And LOHAS, it's basically it's folks who like to vote with their dollars. So these are folks who buy organic, who have solar panels on their house, who drive Priuses, and not to like make fun of folks like that. I can consider that myself. But these are folks who are using their money in a way that allows them to live their purpose. So they're expressing their life's purpose. They're saying, I stand for a sustainable world. I stand for humane food. I stand for local farmers. So they're saying, like, instead of just going to Costco or Walmart and buying the cheapest thing they can find, they go like, you know what? Going to the store is a chance for me to make a difference, much the same way as when I go to the voting booth. So what's happening is there's all these enterprises being generated, by people who have these values and by people who want to serve people who have these values. Oftentimes, usually they're the same. So a study came out in 2012 by Impact Investor and said that social enterprises, businesses that have a transcendent purpose, employ 10 million people in the United States with revenues of 500 billion. So that's 3.5% of U.S. GDP. So it's, when you think about that, 3.5% of GDP is, that's social enterprise, but yet 92% of customers want that. So 3.5% of our economy is driven by it, but yet 92% want it. So I'm no math genius, but that sounds like a massive, massive opportunity for folks to find their purpose and to start companies that serve these 92% who really want purposeful products and goods. So not only does purpose drive performance, leadership, profitability, it's driving the market, it's driving earnings, it's driving stock price, it's driving hiring. So a Harvard Business Review study from 2014 found that 70% of millennials want to live their purpose at work. So if you're having trouble kind of hiring or motivating millennials, odds are either you don't have your purpose, your company doesn't have their purpose, or you haven't found a way to connect what it is that you're doing with the purpose of this new workforce. So like I said, it's part of the gestalt. It's happening. It's a growing trend of people who want to find and live their purpose at work, who want to find and live their purpose at the grocery store, who want to find and live their purpose as they invest their retirement. So this whole trend, this kind of trend towards purpose-driven capitalism is exploding, and business schools are being started to do it. There's in the Bay Area alone, I think we have 3 maybe even 4 business schools that are focused on sustainability or purpose-driven business. There's a great one up in Seattle, and it's becoming a kind of a core, major or focus of many big business schools. So my business school, Columbia, social enterprise is a very big part of that curriculum. It's a big draw. And so there's a study done in 2008, that's 8 years ago. What they found was that there are 350 professors of social entrepreneurship. And I can only imagine that has doubled or tripled by now. And then and it's not just the United States, from 35 countries, and there's over 30 international and national competitions for social enterprise. So for people who want to start ventures from right out of business school. So this is becoming kind of a media phenomenon, where folks are saying, purpose is important. My purpose is important. I want to live it all the time. How do I do that? How do I do that in the marketplace? How do I do it at work? So this is the kind of the gist of what how purpose can rocket your career. It allows you to see the market differently. It allows you to contribute in a greater way, and it puts you on the leading edge of where we're moving as a society, as an economy, as a species, as a planet. So if you want to dive into your life's purpose, please join us for the 21-Day Purpose Challenge. So you go to 21daypurposechallenge.org and sign up. If you sign up before 5 p.m. on the 27th, you're going to get 3 free ebooks. One of them is The Science of Purpose, where you can learn about all of this stuff. And join us tomorrow. We're going to dive into purpose and romance, how your life's purpose will actually create a better marriage, create better relationships. And then the following day, so Thursday, we're going to dive into purpose and creating a better world. So how does purpose actually show up in the world and help shift things towards a more just, peaceful, and sustainable future? Also, I invite you to join us on Friday, which is Global Purpose Day. So at 7 p.m. Pacific, if you're in the Bay Area, so the San Francisco Bay Area, there's going to be an event in Berkeley at the La Peña Cultural Center called A Space for Purpose. Will be 3 speakers, including myself. So myself, Day Schildkret, and who's another purpose guide, and Gino Pistori-Yang, who's a purpose-driven social entrepreneur. And you're going to dive into your purpose, learn how to embody it, and create a livelihood as legacy. You can also live stream it. So if you go to fingerprintlife.com and click under events, you'll find that event. You can join us Friday night. And then lastly, on Sunday is the beginning of the 21-Day Purpose Challenge. So for 1 hour a day for 3 weeks, you can do one exercise to deepen your life's purpose, to begin to embody it, blast through the resistance to living it, and then start to take purpose-aligned actions out in the world. All this awaits you, 21daypurposechallenge.org, and join us tomorrow for Purpose and Love. Take care.